Can James Harden and the fifth-seeded Rockets get back on track? The Dallas Mavericks are 2-0 over the Rockets this season, including a 3-point win in December after trailing by 8 late. We're going to take you guys to tip-off just after 8 Eastern right here on NBA TV. Hey, everybody. Welcome into our NBA TV studios. It's game night. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our Derek Fisher, David Griffin. We're going to be with you guys, well, most of the night, right? It's game night Monday, so we're with you all night. We are just merely a fraction of the ensemble cast that has been assembled Monday nights. We're with you, though, until tip-off in Texas between the Mavs and the Rockets. But before we look ahead, guys, let's look back to December 8th. Between these two teams, Luka Doncic shook off a bad shooting night and scored 11 straight points to erase an 8-point deficit late in the fourth quarter. And at the time, that win was a 9th straight for the Mavs. So, of course, things have changed just a little bit since then. The Rockets now have made their way from, well, they were 14th in the Western Conference at one point to now back 5th in the Western Conference. And James Harden has gone 29 games in a row, dropping at least 30 points. Only Wilt Chamberlain has done so more times, and he did so more times twice, by the way. Isn't that always how it works out with Wilt statistics?
Yes.
I'm not sure there's any scoring or rebounding number you could have up there that Wilt would not be first.
That he's not probably going to be winning. But what do you see as the key for the Houston Rockets to coming out, starting off strong? Because it was a game they started off strong in December, and then they saw a late fourth quarter lead disappear.
Well, defensively is always what for Houston is the priority in terms of them winning, sustaining the scoring output that they normally will have. Obviously, with Harden playing at the level that he does, it's always going to come back to that side of the floor. And Griff, we were here a couple weeks ago. We talked about the Rockets needing to add another guard, and I think Shumpert is that guy that defensively can help them sustain some things late in games.
Yeah, I think the Shump acquisition is huge for them in terms of what they most sorely lacked. What's really interesting about their situation is with Chris Paul coming back, it actually gave them one more mouth to feed, and it made it so that James couldn't be quite as ball dominant in the fourth quarter. When Chris was out, there was a 17-game stretch there. James had 52.5% usage rate in the fourth quarter and overtime. 52.5%. You were a point guard, right?
That's high.
2K numbers, video game numbers.
That's more than half of the possessions in the fourth quarter ended with a James Harden shot, foul, or turnover. That's hard to even get your mind around, right? Yeah. So when Chris comes back, they're not as efficient because James, with all of that usage, was uber efficient. So Mike D'Antoni, who once famously said to me the team with the most points at the end of the game played the best defense, was very comfortable with James controlling possession by possession.
Right.
Because he'll be more efficient than you are. They were winning games that way.
Right.
And it got harder when Chris came back. So Shumpert is really necessary.
I know a lot of fans were excited about this game because it is James, Luka, it's Harden, and Doncic. It's two players that have, dominated highlight reels all season long.
To be clear, that's why I'm excited about it also.
That's fair. Yeah, that's actually why we're all excited. But, D-Fish, will you break down this step-back jumper that's worked so well, not just for James Harden in this MVP-like season, but for Luka Doncic as well?
I mean, I will try, but Harden here, as you see, as a lefty, and me being a lefty as well, anytime you can get that guy on the left side of your body, just getting a little separation with the elbow, not extending or pushing off, but just a little bit of a shoulder bump, Griff. And then this one, Terrence Ferguson doing the right thing, hands back, not fouling, but you see Harden on one dribble, all footwork, and just a little bit of a sidestep after that one dribble to get separation from Ferguson. And when you're a lefty on the left side of the floor, nobody can get to your shot. Now you take a look at Doncic using multiple dribbles here on Josh Hart, good individual defender, uses the behind-the-back move to get Hart thinking he's going downhill. But when he plants his right foot, you saw the separation from the top of the key to 2 feet behind the line. And then again here, when he plants his right foot, he's able to get separation. At 19, 20 years old, he still got those good hip joints. Yeah. You know what I mean? That
look at his face. Like,
you know, right? He still got some cartilage. He still got cartilage in his knees. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So you saw in the first one with Harden, right? He's here. he has Corver on the left side of his body, and as a lefty for us, we like going right because when we step back, our left elbow is in the shooting pocket much quicker. So you saw James just kind of step into Corver, and without his arm coming all the way up, he just kind of shoulder bumps him, gets a little bit of separation, and then he goes up into a shot. And that's tough to guard. You saw Corver was upset, didn't like the call. Now when you go down to the corner, as a lefty, there's nothing you can do in terms of blocking my shot. I just need to get separation. So even on one dribble, we're used to seeing Harden use multiple dribbles, setting guys up between the legs behind the back. Off one dribble, he just plants the right foot and gets separation down to the corner going in that direction. Tough shot, but for lefties on this side of the floor, you have both ways to go, makes it hard for
It's totally counterintuitive defensively, right? I'm not used to doing that. And so when you're raised and you program yourself enough to contest right-handed shooters, not only are you not contesting his jump shot as well because it's on his left hand, every movement he makes to you to get separation is alien to you because it's coming at you from a different angle. So it's really, really significant to be a lefty in the league if you can shoot. Goran Dragic is a left-hander who, once he got to the point where he was lethal as a three-point shooter, infinitely harder to guard than a similarly talented right-handed player.
Not only is it difficult to guard, but it's also really difficult to do. Can you give some perspective for fans who are watching but perhaps didn't play the game, have never attempted a step-back jumper, how difficult it is to, when your momentum is going in the opposite direction, to still establish that power to get the shot?
Yeah, I mean, I think Doncic actually has an even more impressive step back in terms of the distance that he covers. But when he steps back, right, first of all, it takes the entire body to control that movement.
Right.
You're going full speed one way, and then you're stopping immediately. Core has to engage, glute muscles, everything has to go in order for you to push to get separation from the defender. A lot of guys, though, when they push back from you, Kristen, they're leaning back this way,
right,
which makes it an even more difficult shot.
Right.
If I've gotten separation from you, I don't need to lean back as well. And when you watch those clips of Doncic, he not only plants his right foot and steps this far back, but if you could draw a straight line up his back, and he's going straight up, and the ball is immediately in his shooting pocket when he steps back. And for a guy as young as he is to already have that type of control offensively, really, really impressive what he's doing on the floor.
That a flawless